Test, 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 test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me get the music going again. I'm actually going to restart this song. I like this one. Anyway, welcome to the weekly Rainbow Trade stream. I'm going to turn the volume down a little more on that. And then let me know. The mic should be good. We can go kick it off. But we do the tweet, do the thing. We're live. Hope you guys are doing well. We have a very, very fun, exciting stream. Thank you, Phil, from YouTube. If you guys are on Twitter watching, we stream on YouTube and Twitter. I'm kind of phasing out the Twitch, but anywho, let me do the obligatory tweet. We are live. If you guys are new here, per the usual, this stream is intended for it's intended to be used as educational purposes only. It's not intended to be used as financial advice. And if you have any idea why my screens don't look like this and they look like they're covered in rainbows, it's because they are. It's rainbow theory, rainbow trends, been around since 2017. Something cooked up ourselves way back in the day trying to study whales. And if you want to find out any information on why I reference so many odd things that you can't find on Wikipedia, go check us out at rainbow-trends.com. And give me 1 second, we'll get going. Let me show that real quick, but let me get the Discord going. Runner alerts. But thanks for coming out for sure. All right, that is live. Alrighty. So, like I said, the other thing, we've been working heavily on the Wikipedia page. It's got some of the best tutorials we have. I can rapidly work in Gitbook faster than other places, so definitely check that out. It's still a work in progress, but a lot of the documentation that you guys have been asking to me for years is finally on there. Another thing, Kraken really starting to play with their desktop app. If you haven't seen that, the thing is freaking sweet. If you want to show Jesse Powell some love, we actually have an affiliate program with them. The amount of guys who are hitting me up in the DMs trying to get me to be an affiliate for these like no-name exchanges, even some big exchanges. This is why, one of the only reasons I ever did this. I like Jesse. I like what he built. I genuinely like the Kraken better than everything else. If you want to support us, definitely show that. And per the usual, if you guys aren't part of the Discord, that's where kind of the Rainbow Theory, Rainbow Traders hang out. That's the home we built for them a long time ago. And the one thing I wanted to kick off this week, there's been a lot of discussions in here. There's a lot of stuff that I talk about that I don't necessarily tweet about because there are things in the charts that will start messing with me mentally, stuff that I start seeing, and we will start having conversations and stuff like that. And one of the things I wanted to point out today is the big thing on Ethereum. But before we get into that, I thought we had an impersonator in the Discord. If you guys didn't know, our beloved Playmaker has been gone for about 6 months from the Discord. And yesterday at 10:26 p.m., I saw someone hop in the Discord that looked oddly familiar. And we had to do some two-factor authentication. We figured out it's not a scammer. Playmaker's been out finding himself in the wild with some quants, doing some study of the charts, and he's back after 6 months. So much love and glad to have him back. And I wanted to start this off. You know, this isn't a politicals channel, but this is one of the things I found that was absolutely hilarious. Is the president asked, or not the president, a reporter asked today, Mr. Jerome, during the FOMC meeting today. Shout out Tom Crown for calling me out a day early on it. The President Trump asked you to leave. Would you go? Powell says, nope. Can you follow up on that?
Hi,
yes, he can.
Victoria Guido with Politico. Some of the president-elect's advisors have suggested that you should resign. If he asked you to leave, would you go?
No.
Can you follow up on, do you think that legally you're not required to leave?
No.
He's awesome. He doesn't care. And that is what it is. It's just going to be what he does, and I think it's hilarious. But anyway, let me get the volume down a little bit more on that. All right, so moving on. The big thing. We've been talking about this in the Discord. There's been a bunch of DMs between me and a bunch of people I won't name and some that I will name later in this. I'm focused on crypto right now. The election is the election. You can go find as many videos on that as you want. But the one thing that I wanted to talk about today and really focus on is Ethereum. This has been the coin that everyone hates. This is the coin that everyone is not happy with, has been made fun of. Just about everything else has outperformed it this year to date. And remember, we're in November. Zcash has probably outperformed it. I know Solana has, Popcat, all these different things. Bitcoin's left it in the dust. Frankly, Bitcoin's at an all-time high, and Ethereum's 50% from the all-time high? Not anymore, but it was getting down to the low twos at one point. But ignore the ticker. And if you ignore the ticker, and let me remove the reversion bands, and let me remove the runner bot, and that. If you get this really down to just levels, there's a lot of people that trade levels. We trade order blocks. We trade with algorithms, all that types of stuff. You know how Rainbow Trends goes. But it's real clear. If you can't see, the algorithms are dumping pivots here. And before, that was support. We bounce. And now we're moving back up. And that's important for a lot of reasons. Typical cycles, and I say typical cycles, and it's also kind of the title of this stream, is we're off the maps, and we've been off the maps for a while, and there's a lot of things that have been ingrained in your psychology over the past 9 or 10 months that the whales are going to use to your disadvantage, and it's going to bite you. And I'm going to go through that a lot more with the Bitcoin stuff when we get to the Bitcoin sections, and I know I normally start with Bitcoin, but for Ethereum, this is big. And we hit it a few times. We've rejected this level kind of twice there. We'll call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th time we're out. And we shot right through it. And we didn't necessarily do this to the same sequence that Bitcoin took off at. It was a little bit delayed. Now, if you remember the old school rotations, Bitcoin ran, Ethereum ran, and then large cap, mid caps, small caps. This cycle's been nothing like before. We hit an all-time high before halvening. And Solana went on a massive run and left everything in the dust. People forget that it just ran out of nowhere and it didn't stop for a very long time. Almost broke an all-time high, and then it rolled over. And that's what we've been ranging through. But this is super, super interesting. My goal, I've gotten a few trades on the lower ranges and taken profit because I didn't bet on us getting through this order block. But now my force plan and what I've been dealing with this week, not that this is financial advice, this is an art stream. Once we break this order block, it's invalidated. And now this is now support. And if Bitcoin is going for an all-time high, I'm looking for the oscillation trade, which means the slingshot. And what I've been telling people is hey, we're looking at a serious change here with the whales. Ethereum has not been running for a very, very, very long time. Ethereum, frankly, has been on a downtrend since May, and it's been bad. All these other things have been pumping, doing really well. This thing's been bad, and it's bleeding out. Frankly, Bitcoin, so there's two scenarios. Ethereum's really dead, and it's going to zero, or Bitcoin's printing all-time high, and eventually Ethereum's going to get drugged back up to Bitcoin's bullishness. And that's what we're looking at, in my opinion. Now, I give you the guys kind of my rundown. This is kind of my thesis. This is what I'm looking at. This is the home run play. This is kind of the mid-range win, whatever. If we get it, and this is like when you see me talk yin-yang trains, I'll bail from a yin-yang train before we get the home run, but at least when we hit the ball, I know where the home run can land. From the bottom here, you're looking at an 85% trade. If you get it in the mid-range, you're looking at a 65. If you're hitting it from the kind of the top here, you're looking at roughly a 50% trade if we touch the top order block. If we go into all-time highs, sky's the limit. But the truth is there's a very, very good argument if you can survive this dang thing, we get up here. Now, I'm invalidated when we get back under this resistance order block. And we very well may, right? There's so many things going on this week. Who knows what could happen? Maybe they come out and announce some crazy things about Ethereum. Maybe Vitalik abandons the project. You just don't know. Remember, he's dating again, so there's a lot of wild stuff. But if you ignore the ticker, there's support. There's a support dash resistance depending on what side of this time frame you're on. And now it's reclaiming and it's invalidating. So what does that mean? Ethereum's actually sounding bullish and looking bullish. Again, do you want to hear that? No. You want to hate on it? Yes. This is the most overhated thing. And for freaking almost all year, you've been right. And it has been god awful to trade Ethereum. This is a hard thing to do. But if you ignore the ticker, you look at this rainbow theory-wise, you look at what the whales are doing. The whales are coming into this. And they're showing strength. And they're showing strength while Bitcoin is printing all-time highs, right, above its all-time high price. And Ethereum is lagging. So, if we get the old times of old, where Ethereum used to pump like mad and really be the foundation of an absolute bull market, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like when it starts. Now, am I guaranteeing that we're going to get a slingshot trade up to 50? No, but that's what I'm going to eye for. And right now, my stop loss is around 27.30, 27.40, somewhere around here. And if you hit me on that stop loss, I will not lose a penny. So I'm going to sit and chill in this position. I've been stacked in engineering meetings all week and literally just dropping DCAs while I'm in the meetings looking at my phone. But that's besides the point. Not the best trade execution on the entry, but I definitely wanted to see what would happen. And frankly, like the election stuff, I risked off on a lot of stuff and just wanted to chill. Maybe that's bad, whatever, but frankly, this is a big gap. And I think we can get it. And we'll see. We'll see. Just, Ethereum's a very, very trusted thing. Larry Fink likes it. There's an ETF. I think there's a play here. Is it a harder play? Is it painful to long this? Yes. Is it easy and going to be super, super profitable? Maybe not. Probably not. But if you ignore the ticker, this is a home run chart for a resistance block, order block flip, and it's going to go up. And if it goes up, so if you guys want to zoom in and do some scalps, there's your cheat sheet. All these pivots painted to you by the algorithm, watch those. They hit hard. Like, you guys sometimes question it if I'm like BSing. These are automated, non-tuned, or I don't tweak these. That's a pivot that printed in July that was fully respected in August, like within an hour. So these things matter. Like bam, 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 bam. Pivots matter. Whales really, really care about pivots, no matter the age. It's really, really weird. You'll see them act on pivots that are literally 2 years old, and it makes no damn sense. But shout out, because that was one of the questions I tackled a long time ago, and that kind of got me actually talking up to OG Cell 9000. One of my top 5 recommended people to follow, and we'll touch on his account a little bit. But that is the rainbow theory look at Ethereum. And yes, it's painful for me to say these things, but you want to talk bullishness and everything else? Here's the catalyst. If I'm right, and you're not exposed to Ethereum at all, but you're exposed to other projects, if this bad boy comes up and reclaims $4,000 and prints a new all-time high, you are going to see alt season like you've never dreamed of. Like, you will see Ansem make it. You will see some crazy things. God knows where the alts go, and we get to some really crazy targets. Another weird thing, I've been really feeling awkward about this Ethereum thing because I frankly have been trying to eye this bounce since like really early October, and we've had a few attempts, and it's probably the third attempt that finally broke through. But we're starting to actually see confluence. I haven't been talking to 9K about this trade. I've mainly been talking to Malifestro and Crypto ISO about it. But I saw Sell 9K, Sell went over 9,000. Start talking about Ethereum, and he's actually bullish, and he's seeing the levels that I see. He's a little less bullish. I'm calling for like 41. He's calling for 35. That's the non-home run levels, right? I aim for the home run, and if it kind of goes worse, I'll get it out, right? That's the idea. But the interesting part is 9K's seeing Ethereum. 9K hasn't talked to Ethereum in a long time as far as like being bullish on it. So take note, because it's one thing for you to have a read. It's another thing for you to like read crypto Twitter, it's a whole nother level to find your OGs that you trust and you love and you take their opinions seriously. When I say that, it's not like I have a list of 100 OGs. There's a few OGs I pay attention to, and the rest I kind of put blinders on. But there are certain people, there's probably less than 10 in the entire industry that I actually like pay attention to, and I blinder off the other stuff. Because if the entire industry is like crying on crypto Twitter, I should probably be bullish, and I don't want to let that stuff affect me. So what's up, Mally on YouTube? Mally wanted to see this on the daily with the 913 pivots. Give me 1 second. That's the daily, and I have to hide the super secret codes. It's funny you guys mentioned, or you bring this up, is the I don't know when these people are talking, or I'll say this, I get alerts when you guys boost tools. It'll be really interesting because no one will be talking 913 pivots in our Rainbow Trends Discord. And then all of a sudden, like, I'll get notifications that 5 people like started using this tool and liked it and like boosted it in TradingView. And it's like someone somewhere is having a discussion because it's been quiet for days. And all of a sudden 5 people are now commenting on it. But Malifestro on YouTube is asking us to look at the daily. So let me see. What are you looking for? What's up next is check F on 1 day with Mally pivots. True that. Inverted Bart. Riley, you've been banned. Oh, I'm sorry. Inverted Bart. Yes. You're unbanned. Hand penguin. So you want to look at Mally pivots? Yeah. You're 13 here. You're 13 level here. And then the 9. That's cool too. So I think Mally, what he's kind of hinting at is a bottom forming on the TD9 here. Albeit, I just misspoke. This is clearly not a TD9. This is an SD9. This is a sequential 9. Albeit that trademark has expired. So anyway, Malifestro may be showing up in the Discord later on the roundtable, which happens in about 40 minutes. But I got to get running, but we'll definitely cover this one in a bit. If you guys don't know, 9-13 pivots, it's a free tool. Start typing in 9-13, it will show up on TradingView. So go have fun, go show him some love, and we'll go from there. To your point, Riley, I don't see a VART. Personally, I see a capitulation range that's reacting. This is a drive down into support, and then it is recovering. This looks more like a capitulation than a BART, to be honest. But back to this. 9K is talking about it. 9K hasn't done this in a long time. Pay attention. Learn to read your OGs. I've covered that so many times. Also, another thing, Nexus. Nexus is in a different realm. He's in a different group, and all of a sudden Nexus is, not all of a sudden, he's been seeing this as well. Nexus is spotting the invalidation that I've seen as well start to form, and he's been tweeting about this for a while now, November 1st. So he started seeing this wedge as well. I was watching a wedge. I was definitely looking at this order block. He calls it an invalidation line, and it's starting to pop. And guess what? Wake up today. That's my bro. Also uses the rainbows. So thing to note, Nexus is definitely in the Rainbow Trim fan, but he definitely started in a different realm and then came to us. 9K is in a different realm, but he's definitely fam. They're both seeing bullish things on Ethereum, so it's really odd to me to ever see Nexus and 9K, let alone myself, all kind of like, hey, this actually looks bullish while everyone's hating it. There's Malifestro's Twitter, if you don't know, and Nexus's. You guys can find all those. Those dudes definitely need to be followed. If not, just for the love. You can hit that little button there and send them Toyota recommendations. And yeah, that's the... Actually, you know what? There's the script. I'm going to drop it in the Twitter as well if I can find it. I apologize. The streaming software won't let me do the chat in Twitter. So, but anyway, there it is. I have to drop it manually. So, anyway, moving on. That's a free tool. Go try it out. Malifestro bugged me to build something for him. Built it. Then I've just watched him print. Now, so... The OGs are talking Ethereum, and these are OGs in different scenarios. Ethereum's pumping. FBTC is probably bottomed right for the 9,000th time. Not really, but I just don't care. I don't look at those type of things. I don't really look at BTC pairs except for Litecoin. Don't quote me on that, but that's the truth of it. A lot of people do really well. It's just I think USD matters more than anything else personally. But moving on, so that's my bullish case for Ethereum. And if we get that target, God help us. Bitcoin's going to go higher. Alts are going to do some of the craziest damn things you've ever seen. And it's going to set you up for the part of the trend where people get to make it. And then it's really up to you guys to actually keep it. Because the stars are aligning for a lot of stuff. Market-wise, cycle-wise, everything, regulatory, regulation, all this different stuff is lining up. We were setting up for a bullish breakout regardless, and then the stars align. Politics aside or whatever, there's a lot of things that are in the background that are happening and lining up for the industry as a whole in Bitcoin, and it's bullish, no matter how you spin it. So that sounds bullish, and you know, runner, I always give a bearish argument, and I have to give this one. Haley Welsh, the Hawk Tua girl, accidentally doxed her wallets, and if you look closely, she's rocking Ethereum. So we may need to take profit here. This could be the top for Ethereum. Vitalik may be done, and if you look at some of the others, shout out Nexus. You're done for. She's got your Bitcoin ticker, and there's MogChain and GigaChad. It's actually kind of on point, to be honest, albeit I haven't heard of that one. But anyway, there's your bearish take. As much as people make fun of her, she's funny. I don't think there's... I think we got some time limits of how many times I can watch chicken bake reviews, but she's genuinely funny. So, moving on to Bitcoin. If you guys didn't know, Kobe started changing his PFP on Twitter and posted up a very personal, intimate relationship conversation with Ledger, saying if Trump wins, we can restart up only. He says, okay. And he actually posted this, which is, holy crap, we may actually get the legendary up only podcast back, which I'm very excited for. Because I've seen Kobe talk about some things he regrets, and hopefully he gets to go back live and do what he wanted to do. And I think that would be really cool. But on a serious note, moving on to Bitcoin. I'm going to start with the Mayer multiple today. Because I had a very, very, very long talk with my beloved lawyer last night and dear friend. And we started talking like stars aligning, what's next. And you know that I talk about the Mayer multiple a lot, a whole lot. But I don't ever talk about like the source material, and I never claim to create it. Because frankly, the people who came up with this are freaking geniuses, except they don't know how to visualize it. They want to tell you that the Bitcoin price is this with this number. They did a whole lot of backtesting, and you can go read it here. But frankly, the data and the backtesting they did, you can't. It's not visualized right, and I don't think they update it that much. So shout out to the Investor Podcast. You were really you came up with a really good tool. It's just you don't know how to explain it. They study billionaires, and this is what the Mayer multiple is when you actually visualize it. When you actually get those standard deviations pulled out. And you start looking at it, it's really good data. It backtests really well. It's excellent data. And if you know me, there's been thousands of scripts I've written. There's been thousands of scripts I've tested. Nothing that backtest or anything that can't backtest is garbage to me. And that's why that's what started me on my journey to actually start coding all this stuff. I'm a mechanical engineer at heart. I'm not a coder. So 5-10 years later, whatever, I'm now running a software trading company on the side, which has been a very unplanned turn of events, but it's been really fun. This is the Mayer multiple visualized. So we're touching back on this one, and I've sprinkled in a little bit of fun because Josh is right now, Carpe Noctem is calling for $333,000 peak of this run. We're at 75-ish right now. And then Garrett Soloway, bless his heart, he's way down there. He's calling for like 10K, whatever. He's probably maybe more bullish. I hope so. I think the Bob is gone, so maybe he's more bullish. I can't read it either way. Our happy bear up here, our happy bull Josh. Shout out Carpe. The Mayer multiple's here, and the Mayer multiple moves based on the 200-day moving average, but it gives you the standard deviations of how far Bitcoin can go before it peaks. And if you go back and look at the old runs, it's definitely a pretty awesome tool. Now, is it going to tell you exactly where to take profit? Absolutely not. But it will tell you are in end times. 100% of the time, it's going to say, hey, you euphoric SOB trader who's up 10,000% on this, pay attention. It's time to realize you're in the final stages. There is the previous run to 69K. There is the 13.5K run, which was a beautiful parabolic move. And then there's like your 2017 run that went to 20K. But you gotta remember, like 2017, it went to like 20K. There was only like 48 hours. It was above like 15K. Like that 22, 21, whatever peak, like it's minuscule amount of time. So anyway, what's up? I got Dave Kennedy and Pentalga in here. Pentalga, I have a slide for you at the end. So shout out Pentalga. Known him for decades. The other thing of the Mayer multiple, I don't talk about it right now, but if you get into these lower bands of the standard deviation, this is like DCA king territory. Like, you will feel so depressed, but you will not regret buying those given a long enough time span. On Bitcoin, I say. The reason I say this, the Mayer multiple is built on Bitcoin. It's not built on anything else. But again, shout out to my Turks. There are some Turk day traders who use Rainbow Trend's Mayer multiple on stocks I've never heard of that are not on the New York Stock Exchange, and it works for them. So mathematically, it should be okay, but I haven't back tested it on a bunch of Turkish stocks, but apparently they're doing well. If you notice here, these are the windows I have based on the stock to flow model. If you guys don't know what the stock to flow model is, it's one of the most hated things in the crypto industry. And it tells you where the peaks are going to be and what the projected prices of Bitcoin are going to be based on the halving cycle. And frankly, every single person who's hated on this in crypto Twitter has missed the freaking point. And I even got blocked by the creator at one point. I was like, dude, I talked positively about this. I don't know why you would do this. And he ended up unblocking me. So shout out to me getting unblocked. But the thing I want to notice, people go, oh, man, stock to flow said price was going to hit 100K. It only hit like 60K. Da-da-da-da. Oh, my God, stock to flow saying 600K. They focus on this orange line, which don't do that. Don't do that. Just like the Mayer multiple shows you, it can't tell you the top, but it can tell you you're in final days. These colors are based on the number of days since, or days until the next halving. So once the halving happens, it restarts the ticker and it starts counting it down. If you've noticed, in general, when you get to yellowish, you're at the market cycle top. Forget this damn orange line and give this dude like some clout. This thing is pretty damn accurate. Now, it's not perfect, but you can definitely see what I'm getting at here. We're starting to age out and get into the yellow area. It's going to happen over here in 2025, around April to like October-ish is where this like window is. And you can't hit it right. And guess what? Every single person has the mindset that they're going to nail the top. You're not. You're not. There's only like probably 3 people that sold Wi-Fi over $100,000 per Bitcoin or per coin on Coinbase. You're not going to be that dude. What you need to do is visualize, wake up. Am I somewhere in here? Right? Am I somewhere in this yellowish area? Am I going to be able to take profit? And that's where you're going to survive. And that's what you need to pay attention to. So when the Mayer multiple adds stock to flow, we're looking at like a window around here-ish. Now that's a big, big gap, but that's really not that far away. That's April 2025 to like November 2025. And to me, honestly, if I want to call a top on a calendar, I kind of want Q4 crypto, which means we've got like a year left before this bad boy blows out. And if we start going up on the run, you're going to get Mayer multiple to kind of arc up. And I just drew straight lines here, but in general, it's going to like whatever, something along those lines. Remember, this is not a professional art stream. It's an amateur art stream. But if I draw just kind of like loose straight lines, you're like, I have to start talking to you guys about like, what is a realistic target for Bitcoin? Is it $1 million this cycle? Is it $10,000 this cycle? Right? There are limits to this. There is math that you can actually project it. For the same reason I can tell you XRP cannot hit $500, I can also tell you Bitcoin's not going to hit $1 billion this cycle. If you haven't noticed, we really haven't touched anything above the 3.9 standard deviation since like the 2017 tapped it for a day. And then like Bitcoin back in like 2013, like over a decade ago. The older it is, the less volatility is what my point is saying. But if you want to call that like ETF magical top, you're talking like that, which is only like 478K, which is above Josh's hairline. So that's like above that, right? For sure, because that's 333. So long story short, worst case scenario, we're looking at like 150, 160. Maybe most bullish case is like 470. Now that's a giant freaking window. But if you've been tuning into this stream at all for any amount of time, we've been talking about buying this bottom for forever. There'd be like 5 people on these damn streams, and we would just talk about how like, hey, this is likely the bottom for these reasons. Things have been invalidated, risk on, da-da-da-da-da. Chill. We aren't going to nail the top. The thing we don't want to do is get up into this thing, peak at some point. We don't know what it is. It may go backwards. It may do a loop, and then have it come back and retrace and go here. You want to go up 10,000% and then drop 90. Remember, 90% down eats the whole pile, so don't do that, right? But that's the window, and we're going to get here in the next 12 months, 13 months. We're going to ride this, and we're going to ride the lightning. And this bad boy is coming back up, and it's at 1.2 standard deviations right now. If we're lucky, this thing goes towards the end of this time cycle that allows us to hit higher targets. Now, with ETF flows online and then bringing in option trading, I don't know. Maybe this thing does super parabolic, super cyan. Maybe it goes even higher. But the thing I want you guys to start convincing yourself to do is mentally preparing yourself to exit and watching it go higher and not chasing it and destroying your bag. There's a lot of people that chased Bitcoin from like 2 to 3,000 up to 20K, and in hindsight would have been happy as hell selling at 10K or 8K, and they watched it go all the way back down to 3. Keep that in mind, because that doesn't sound too bad, but from the peak, that's an 84% drop. So you're going to have to watch social media talk about all-time highs going absolutely crazy, but we damn sure don't want to FOMO this and have it drop 80%. So get your mental game prepared. That's all I'm saying. What is up, Jared? The only Jared. So that's Mayor multiple. That's why the Mayor multiple is goated. It's just, and the, the stock to flow. It's just people hate on the wrong data, the data back test. You just got to chill out. Anyway, I don't always pull this up, but I'm starting to look at funding candles again. If you've noticed, funding is waking back up. It's not peaked out. If you don't know, this is like Bitcoin funding when you look at it like a premium of like Bitcoin leverage versus Bitcoin spot. It's kind of a thing. Typically, when it gets hot, we form peaks. And we got hot here, we peaked, and now it cooled off, and now it's waking back up. And in general, on a big uptrend, we don't want to be yellow here and then go up. We want to be a little warm and then move up. And Bitcoin funding candles are starting to show we're breaking out, and we're not that hot right now. Now, there is a big discrepancy here with Bitcoin Premium. Coinbase in particular has been really hot. I wasn't planning on showing this, but this little indicator I showed you guys how to code last go around. Shout out, just go check it in the YouTube. It's like 10 lines of code. You can make this indicator yourself, because I'm not about to go through the release process and get my account banned because I typed something wrong. But anyway, Coinbase is big time premium, and it's been awesome because we've been doing all time highs, but Bitcoin's way more expensive on Coinbase now spot versus the others. So anyway, that's my Josh photo. That's my hot, cold funding candles. And now we're going to transition into the stars aligning. The stars are aligning for a lot of reasons. I don't want to get political at all, because that's bad vibes to have that conversation. But I can tell you, there's something going to change with this administration. And that involves Mr. Gary Gensler. And Gary Gensler's days are numbered now. He is not going to make it past the swear-in on Trump's first day. This guy's leaving. And this is very, very, very bullish. Why is this bullish? This dude refuses to give any regulatory insight. He refuses to define any definitions. He's seriously hurt the industry, and the industry has had to fight him tooth and nail and sue him and take him to court to get anything out of them. He's awful for a lot of reasons. With that being said, the amount of teams that have been counting the days up until this election night of just dreading that they were going to get a Wells notice. And if you don't know what a Wells notice is a notice of intent from the SEC that they are going to sue your butt into oblivion. And now we know this dude's getting fired first day of the next presidential team stepping in the White House. And what does that mean? Crypto in the United States is now going to have a more friendly oversight. They're also going to be unleashed and be given the green light of what to do. These companies, shout out Paul Grewal at Coinbase. Love that dude to death. Would love to interview him. I'm a huge fan. He fights these dudes tooth and nail and make these guys look like imbeciles, and he calls them out for what they are, and it's worth it. But you have to realize this change, regardless of your politics, if you just get the emotions out of the way, like, I swear we're in a simulation, but this part of the simulation has regime change in the SEC, and the SEC is going to be more Bitcoin pro than it ever has been before, and it's going to be willing to give you the laws and the guidance to do what they need to do. And that means DeFi is going to be unchained, in my opinion. On election night, one of the biggest things that pumped was Uniswap. Uniswap has not moved in a very, very long time. In 7 days, it's up 15% in a market that's been kind of dead. Aave's up 26%. Avalanche 10, and where's SushiSwap? I'm not sure. Regardless, the point is there's a lot of things bullish, but there's some things that are way more bullish than others. Regulatory-wise, the SEC has been hitting pretty hard on DeFi exchanges, let alone centralized exchanges, but Coinbase and Kraken doing their thing is one thing. Decentralized exchanges is another. And these guys, all these teams who are building legit things, I don't know, but there's been a lot of scams in DeFi, but like these guys are actual titans in the industry now and established and have great teams. They now have their marching orders that they can move forward without knowing that like they're just going to get a Wells notice and sued to oblivion and jailed or fined for whatever reasons. And that's why I'm proud to announce this month, we don't have an exact date yet, I'm actually going to be interviewing Jared Gray from Sushi Labs and be hanging out with him for a stream. But we finally got it going. He's one of the head guys over at Sushi. I've been a big fan of him, what he does. I used to do Discord spaces way back in the bear market with Crypto ISO, and this dude would show up, and he was just the coolest dude ever. Super, super smart, and I'm very, very excited that we're going to have an interview from the Sushi team. If you guys don't know who Sushi is, you're in the wrong stream. Very, very, very excited for that one. And these guys have got amazing, legit teams, and now they know they get to move forward and develop. And in a bull market, you want these dudes to develop. You want these dudes to flourish. You want these dudes to do good. A look at the charts. Aave went nuts. This is an H4 chart with a bottom print, well 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 print, straight into pink. I don't care who you are. Maybe you meme coiners aren't so proud of stuff like that, but a 50% move on Aave is awesome. It's showing you this is in the date, this is in the charts. Like, for sure. That's my thesis. You can call me wrong or whatever. These dudes are building. They're over the oversight of the SEC. They now know they can move forward and kick butt. And I think you're going to see this. Now, is Runner saying buy pinks with white RSI? Hell no. That's a TP signal. But what I can tell you, I think there's a place where we need to pay attention to DeFi with this upcoming regime shift that goes into the bull market. And you're going to see, I think, some very sizable returns on the DeFi OGs. SushiSwap, a little bit of a lagger here, but it's still pumping and working its way up, and it's up. It made a 28% pump. Uniswap did the same Aave chart. These things are going hard. 45%. This is not like Ethereum's not doing this. Like these are serious pumps, and the outlier was in the DeFi sector. So keep that in mind. Another thing, if we want to talk about what does a regime change also unleash, the obvious one you need to look at is your boy Elon. He can't launch rockets without regulatory people passing him. It's pretty ridiculous. It's a long story, albeit Elon F's around a lot and he finds out, but, who else is going to get us to Mars? I don't know. So I'm big bullish on him, and he's now unleashed as well, which means you can't really get into SpaceX. It's a private company. There are some little weird ways you can get into it, but you have to buy it from insiders who are willing to sell it, and it's gnarly. Regardless, overnight, Tesla pumped 26%. TradeFi, one of the biggest TradeFi stocks that exists, pumped 10% or 15%, 25% overnight. And now you got Mally talking Tesla charts, which I always pay attention when Mally's talking Tesla because he's probably paid for his kids' college with this. He's talking all-time high reclaim, which is a very big statement to talk about because that's another 40%. And while 40% on a Tesla stock, whatever, that's a big move. I don't think you guys realize the size of the market cap growing from here to here. Tesla's already like one of the biggest market caps of like all time. This is going to be big. So like add 40% to it, 1.4 times it, and then talk about price discovery. It's like NVIDIA. NVIDIA is like one of the top 10 biggest assets in the world. Like, and it keeps going into price discovery. Like there is going to be a limit at some point because frankly, there's not enough gold. I think there's like $15 trillion worth of gold, and NVIDIA's like 2 trillion or something like that. Like, eventually we got to go to Mars and mine diamonds to pay for that stuff. Another thing, I haven't got to post the chart, but so far this week, I got a third trade on Coinbase, much to the delight of Crypto Paradigm, who keeps arguing with me just to hold this, and I think he's right, but I got to print charts some way and have fun with my DGen accounts. And this week, I got a third trade on Coinbase. So right now, I'm 3 for 3 on Coinbase trades. And I've been using about 60% of my side DGen account for this and been very happy with it. The first one, there's a bunch of YouTube clips on this. Go follow the YouTube, give it some likes. The clips are here. I go into huge details of how we did a Rainbow Theory capitulation catch here when the yen carry trade blew the markets out. It was a super easy trade. These look really, really scary, but these are like really, really super easy for me because that's how Rainbow Theory like started. Then we got a Mally sweep here, longed that, got it up here into pinks, and then I sold for a 25% move. I think this one was like 12%. I don't remember exactly. And then this one was legit 25%. And I exited going into the election like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Am I really going to regret getting a 25% spot position? Hitting my home run target of the reversion bands with pink and not selling, and I sold. And I got crapped on for that for a while, and it started to work. And I was targeting another entry on this order block. That's why it's drawn so clearly. The three pivots here. I wanted a re-entry to 164. Well, election night went a little bit against what the maybe the news individuals were saying, and Coinbase regulatory regime change unleashed and kind of gave a way for Coinbase to be movable and profitable. And I couldn't take it. I couldn't take any more trash talk from my guy Dime. So I longed the open. Like, I put it in the order like 10 minutes before the bell rang. And we pumped, and I sold this morning. So I got a 14%, like 14 and a half. Call it 15 if you want to be like flashy. And I got a 15% trade out of that. And it wasn't... It's kind of against Rainbow Theory buying that. It is flat out against Rainbow Theory, but there are times where you have to like argue with yourself and write it down on paper why you're violating your own rules. And this one was regime change, allowing Brian Armstrong and Paul Gerwal to go kill it. And I still think this is probably news-based, excitable, probably needs to get pulled back a little bit. I think. But keep in mind, shout out for log, not modeling, right? But when you turn a log on, there are times where Coinbase just goes and it doesn't care about reversion bands and it just can sustain pinks. And it can do that here too. We very well may be on the cusp of something like that and a channel walker forming. I don't know yet. I don't see it really yet, but frankly, everything's been so turbulent. I'm not going to say there's like perfect textbook setups, let alone Rainbow Trends is like Rainbow Theory is the only ones who talk about textbook channel walks. That's because no one talked about it and I had to make up terms. But regardless, if we start doing that, it's price discovery. If you want me to, like, if I'm calling out for like, hey, potentially we could hit $250,000 on Bitcoin next year, I'm definitely bullish on Coinbase going higher. The only thing, be careful. Coinbase tends to staff up really, really quickly. Albeit there's someone I know that's interviewing that they should definitely staff up on that dude hard, but they can oversize and you don't want to be on the backside of that if the industry flattens out. Now, if Bitcoin does United States Strategic Reserve, they buy it every day, who knows? I don't know. The other thing that was unleashed was Dutch Bros this week, and this has nothing to do with actual regime change and seriousness, but if there is a Dutch Bros executive out there that is secretly a Rainbow Trends guy, I've spotted you, and I appreciate it. Not only do I love Dutch Bros, I love coconut coffees and stuff like that, and they made a double rain bro, and they used coconut. So it's kind of suspicious. That's all I'm saying. If you didn't know, Malifestro in the Discord absolutely killed a rain bro trade here. Dutch Bros went up 52% overnight. 52. I don't know about you, but the people that get like 5% out of an S&P index every year, that's 10 years. That's a decade's worth right there. And homeboy killed it. So shout out Malik. Go follow him. And we have got 13 minutes left, so I'm going to take any requests if you guys have them. If you got any cool tickers or whatnot. But if you don't, that's cool. Thank you for coming out. And we are going to go straight into the Discord, open up the mics, open up the charts, and we're going to let the OGs talk about whatever you want. If you got questions for me how to code, I'll start coding for you. If you got questions on how whale theory works or anything, or if you want to go show me your ideas, for sure show up and hang out. The Discord is free, and we got a bunch of OGs in there, and we even have people in there that do not trade Rainbow Theory at all. We just like the vibes, and we like a house with a nice place to live where people respect each other. But if you don't have any ideas of what you want to look at, I'm definitely going to show you this. Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl, is in my top 5 games of all time. Absolutely beautiful, amazing game with some of the coolest storyline and environments of all time. They had 3 games of it. It's Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl, which is the best, the first one. There's Stalker, Clear Sky, and then there's a third one. I forgot what the third one's called. But we haven't seen another game for them for like 10 years. They've developed another one. The team got back together in Ukraine and started developing another one. And then the war broke out and delayed the game, and we thought maybe the game wasn't going to be finished. Well, they're like 2 weeks away now from delivering this. And I am super stoked and super excited. And now we get to go back into the heart of Chernobyl. And I cannot freaking wait. It looks awesome. I hope it's really good. But anyway, like I said, we're going to go hop over into the Discord. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM. Twitter, my email's in the main website, rainbowtrends.com. You can contact us here. And likewise, I didn't say this. If you want to give Rainbow Trends a try, it's $10 to start out for your first month. If it doesn't work for you, cancel anytime. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for everything. Please go blow up the YouTube. Hit the like, subscribe, leave me a bad comment, leave me a good comment. Any reactions, much appreciated. Anyway, I will talk to you guys in 10 minutes or 5 minutes. I'll see you then. Later. Bye.